playoff games each of these two quarterbacks played, Brady was getting rid of the ball in 2.18 seconds in the two playoff games. Brees in his two playoff games, 2.56 seconds. And you say, that's minuscule. It's not.
It's not.
It's a lot of time that Brees is holding the ball longer, so he's going to get hit more. And he got sacked 4 times in the two playoff games.
That's the difference between going to the first option immediately and then holding the ball and going to the second option.
Right.
Second option sometimes will get you hit in the mouth.
Okay.
The first option will always get you free released.
Okay, so to your point about longevity, figuring out, like, to me, this position is unmasterable. It's just too hard to play. But Tom Brady has come the closest to mastering the position of quarterback. That's mentally as well as physically, where he's figured out, if I can get rid of the ball in 2.1 seconds, I can keep doing this for 4 more years.
Right.
But that's hard to do because you have to make the choice very quickly. So your brain, you're so evolved mentally that you're able to, you're thinking faster than the defense can play. You're thinking faster than they can rush you or they can cover you.
Well, that's
so,
only,
somebody's going to be open, and he's finding the open.
2.1 second only goes into effect if you're able to throw the ball to your first option.
Yeah.
If Julian Edelman comes up or you're swinging the ball to the running back out of the backfield.
Okay.
If the second option, if you have to go to the second option, it's not going to be 2.1 seconds.
But he's choosing his option pre-snap.
Right.
He's just reading. He's figuring you out before you even know what you're doing exactly. And he's saying, I know, like on the Gronk play in overtime, the third and 10 conversion. He just says, you're going to single it. Remember, he split him out left, right?
Right.
And he just said, really? You're going to single him? And I got him on an in-breaking route?
Correct.
You can't cover that because I know him. I trust him there, and I know I can throw it where he can catch it.
And plus, he sees plus he sees Eric Berry playing off cover.
Okay, so what I'm saying is he said he picked it before.
Yes.
I don't even know if that was the play called. It might have been called to Edelman. The primary might have been Edelman. It could have been Philip Dorsett or Hogan on that play.
No, if you notice, they didn't throw to Dorsett not once in that.
Okay, but I'm saying he's reading that pre-snap. That's his choice.
Yes.
He just decided, I'm going to throw it to him. And I promise you, the ball's gone in 2 seconds to Rob Gronkowski. So he's picked the correct way. A lot of quarterbacks might not be able to read it and decide on it that quickly. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why he's got longevity. But I'm also going to point out to you, this year, this football season, this regular season, Tom Brady threw it 570 times. He's had 8 seasons in which he threw fewer passes. So don't tell me he's just saying, I'm going to hand it off now, right?
No.
Okay, so they threw it 570 and ran it 478. Pretty good balance, but still leaning to pass, right? In the postseason, in 2 games, they've thrown it 90 and run it 82. Pretty good balance, but still leaning to pass. What has Sean McVay done in the 2 playoff games? Well, wait a second. He's rushed it 74 times and thrown it 69 times. So they're reversed slightly. So they have run it. That's probably thanks to my Dallas Cowboys, especially in the first half, where they just said, let's just keep doing this, right? But they have become a run-oriented football team. So, but you can't tell me that Tom Brady is just handing it off now, because he's not. He's still throwing it a lot.
No. But the running game it'll allow you protection from the blitz, because a lot of times when you play action, if you notice, you mentioned it the other day, Tom Brady spent a lot of his time under center.
He did.
When you go under center,
at least 50% he was under center.
You can fake it to the running back.
can.
It's a big difference between, Skip, faking a handoff from under the center.
It is.
And then faking it when the guys are
Totally
offset
agree.
back.
And it's a great way to stall the pass rush.
Yes.
Because if it's right in your face and you turn and fake it, and if you're good with, and he's slick with the ball, he's a good faker. So if you hold them for just 1 second, where they have to wait just a second before they can spring.
Right. And plus, it's because they were running the ball so effectively. The line has to hold in there. They just can't get up the field, because you remember when they were getting up the field, they were getting hit with the draw. They were getting hit with screens. So now I got to hesitate just a bit. The second level, you see those backers stepping up, and now all of a sudden that's Julian Edelman coming in on an in-breaking route before where the linebacker should have been. So the running game is not necessarily meant, Skip. Sometimes it's meant to protect the quarterback, because now I can fake it and I can still throw the passes without having that rush breathing down my neck. Okay. So now to the deciding factor, which will be off the field. What do you always tell me about why did you stop playing? At some point, you just finally said, I just don't love this anymore. They want to go to meetings anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I've had enough of this. I also think you get so battered. Your body gets battered to the point where you just say,
I just don't. I don't love this. I'm ready to go on and do something else with my life. Well, I don't think either of these two guys are there, but they both have off-the-field responsibilities that Tom seems to have been able to put in some juggling act perspective, where, remember, they both got kids. Tom has 3 under the age of 11, and Drew has 3 under the age of, I'm sorry, 4 under the age of 10. He's got 3 sons and the youngest is a daughter, but 4 under the age of 10. Okay, at what point does Drew Brees, he loves to coach his kids' flag football team. At what point does he finally say, I just want to be with my kids? What if the daughter could be playing sports too? What if he just says, I want to be with all of them? What if they're all doing whatever they're doing, right?
That's a very good point, Skip. And let's start with Tom. Giselle has been very understanding.
She has.
At some point. Now, she said that he said, okay, I'm going to play this many years and I'm going to, but she's come to the conclusion, or she's come to the resolution, or she's resigned to the fact that, you know what, if I drag Tommy away, he's going to resent it. He's having so much fun. He wants to continue to play. Let me leave well enough alone, and when he's ready to come home, he'll come home. I believe the same thing is at play for Drew Brees. Because when you play football, and when you play quarterback, and you play it like these two gentlemen do, so much of your time is devoted to studying football. Mom has to be mom and dad. They get the kids up, get the kids ready, take them to school, go to practices, go to the games. They do all the things that when Tom is studying and when Tom is at practice and when he's on the road playing games or on his way to play a game, Drew, same thing, they do all the things that dad can't do. So for them to be able to do that for not 1 year, for 5 years, for 10 years, might be 12. That takes a very understanding person.
It does. And is it possible in another year?
That's a lot of work, man.
Would Giselle, she might dig in at some point and just say, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this anymore. Right?
And look, maybe they have help. But even if you got help, Skip, that's a big responsibility. Kids are a lot of responsibility. So
I don't care how much help you have, it's still a lot.
Yeah. And to get the kids up, but you're doing it. You're like, the help, they didn't help make these kids. So you help make them. I need you to help own some of this responsibility. But for these women to say, you know what? Do what you love. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to be mom. I'm going to be dad. I'm sure they've had, Skip, this is a conversation that you have every single year. Okay, this is what I want. You sit down when you start, grafting or planning out how you want to do this. You sit down with Giselle. I don't know Drew's wife's name, but he sits down with her. And he says, okay, this is what I'm thinking. I would like to do this, this, and this. What are you thinking? Would it be okay? I'm sure these are the conversations that they're having. And, at some point in time, you're right. Somebody's going to say, you know what, baby, I've been doing this thing for 12 years. It's time for you to come home and help. And then,
like ultimatum, come home, or else I might not be here when you get back next time. One of those.
And Skip, the thing is that everybody thinks, and the thing that having a lot of friends that are retired is like, the wife wanted them to come home, or the significant other wanted them to come home, and everybody says, man, I just want to be home with my kid. But that's a big transition, because you go from being home pretty much all day by yourself to being up under Tom, or being up under Drew, or being up under David for 10, 12 hours a day. You're like, hold on, wait a minute. You need to find something to do. Well, I had something to do. I was going to work every single day, and you wanted me to come home. And now that I'm home, you want me to go do something. Oh, no. I'm staying right here. I'm staying right here. So that's also something at play.
What did we see on the field at the end of the New England at Kansas City game? We saw Tom Brady acting like a little kid. We saw him diving into the arms of all of his linemen.
I thought he was a figure skater jumping in somebody's arms.
Not too graceful, but
spinning around and running.
Just like a crazy little kid. Is that not the essence of why he's playing football right now?
Yes.
Would he tell you that's as much fun as he's ever had in his life? He would probably tell you that, right?
Yes.
So then what happens? They pull him over, and CBS is going to interview him, and he's out of his mind, and he accidentally drops an F-bomb live on CBS. You couldn't really hear it, but he said it. It's unbelievable, right? And then what did he do? Then he gathered himself, and he turned to the camera, and he said, I want to say hi to my wife. I love you, and then his family, but he started with Giselle. She obviously wasn't in Kansas City, but he wanted to make sure I thank her because she made this all possible. He knows that.
It's behind the scenes. You and I do. You and I have the easy job. We doing what we love, Skip. We know what we're talking about. You have an idea of what you want to say. I have an idea. It's people behind the scenes. Well, Giselle have the legwork. You know, I'm getting up early, getting the kids ready to go, getting them off to school, picking them up, helping them with homework, blah, blah, blah. Tom Brady spending 5-6 hours a day doing, you know, run. Oh, okay. Hey, Josh, did you see what they did on this situation? At this area of the field, I've seen a lot. They've been playing a lot of cover 5. And if we motion Edelman, they're not passing it off, so he's going to be able to get inside. You saw Coach Belichick diagram the same play one time, put him in motion. All they did was flip the formation, and what they should have did the second time, they effed it up the first time, and then when they effed it up the first time, they didn't follow through the second time, but they got the same. It's a huge undertaking to do all of this on your own.
And remember, Drew Brees has not had great ends to his last 2 seasons. He's had extremely painful ends. The Minnesota Miracle.
That one I'm fine with.
And that one you're fine with, but in New Orleans, they're not fine with what happened.
I promise you, Skip, Drew Brees has a championship, has a Super Bowl and an MVP on his resume. I guarantee you the feeling that he felt when he won that does not coincide with the pain that he's feeling after what happened Sunday and what happened in Minnesota.
No, I agree.
The winning never feels as good as the losing.
So is it possible he's going to sleep on it for a couple of weeks and say, I just can't take this anymore? I don't know.
No, because you don't want to end on that note. You don't want your final game to end like that. Because his final game, if it ends, Skip, you know he threw a pick.
He did.
His last